Hey everybody, this is Russ from Retro Game Core. So you may have noticed in my little subscriber thing down below that we reached 100,000 subscribers on this channel, and I'm just blown away about that. And what I like to do with any of my big milestone kind of subscriber count things is I like to do a big giveaway just to kind of get rid of some of the stuff that I have just accumulated since the last one. And so we'll do that later in this video, but before that I wanted to talk a little bit just kind of about the channel itself and maybe the direction that I see the channel going in the future. So I'd say the best place to start is at the beginning, and I started this channel in August of 2020, so it's been about a year and a half now. And honestly, I was sent home for quite a while during the pandemic, and at first I decided to use that as an opportunity to get through some of my old game catalogs. So I went through and I played through a bunch of PS4 games and stuff like that. But at some point, I don't know, I got onto YouTube and I heard about these retro handheld devices, the RG350 in particular, so I ordered one. And by the time I actually got it in the summer of 2020, I was hooked. I got the bug. And so I started buying more of them and then started making tutorials, then started making videos to accompany those written tutorials. And then I started making more videos than the written tutorials, and it just kind of took off from there. And I remember at the beginning of 2021, I was at almost 10,000 subscribers, and that was like a huge milestone for me. I had never expected something like that, and to be honest, it was just this really fun kind of hobby that had turned into a little bit more than that. Now, I've mentioned this in other videos, but this isn't my first hobby that's turned into something a little bit bigger. So in 2010, I started a food blog, and initially it was just really about writing recipes. I've always loved cooking. But that actually turned into something a little bit bigger too. I ended up writing 3 cookbooks. One of them was even a New York Times bestseller. And that was very unexpected for me, and it honestly was not a great fit for my personality. It just didn't seem to resonate well with me, even though I loved it and I had a lot of fun doing it. At some point, I just kind of gave up on it. And to be honest, this channel here has kind of filled that creative void for me, and I've really enjoyed it. This has gone way further than I ever expected it to, and to be perfectly frank, this channel has now kind of changed the trajectory of my life and my family's lives, and it's just kind of a really crazy thing to think about, that this little hobby of me playing old Nintendo games on devices is actually turning into something that I think I'm going to end up doing for a living here pretty soon. I mentioned it in my face reveal video, but I've been in the military for almost 22 years now, and I'm retiring soon. I'm retiring this summer. And for the longest time, I've planned on working on a career afterwards. And as time marches on, I think that this is actually what I'm going to do instead. I think I'm going to go full time. And so I wanted to let everyone know that I do plan on going full time sometime this next summer. And you know, all the work that you see right now, every video that I upload is basically the result of me working on the evenings and weekends. And so I'm really excited to see what kind of things I can come up with when this is the only thing I do, when I wake up in the morning and I just jump into it. And it's a really exciting thing to me. And so yeah, that's my plan for this channel. I plan on going full time here in about 6 months, and I'm really excited to see what kind of things we can come up with together. And you know, this is quite a risk I'm taking. You know, I've spent 22 years in one establishment doing a certain job. I'm a language analyst by trade, and I've been a leader within the military and DoD for such a long time now that it feels really weird to take all those skills and then put them into YouTube videos. But that's what I'm hoping to do, and I'm really excited about that. So you might be wondering how you could potentially support this channel here in the future. Well, I'll say number one thing is just to watch videos. Like, watching a video, liking, subscribing, all that stuff really does mean a lot to me, and it really helps the channel to grow, and it's going to give it more visibility and things like that. But if you wanted to go a step further, in the video description below, I have like merch that you could buy. So you get like a t-shirt and I'll get a couple dollars when you buy it, things like that. And then I also have a Patreon page. It's pretty small, but if you're interested in contributing to that, that'd be really helpful too. I don't have any special perks for Patreon or anything like that. It's literally just whether or not you want to help contribute to everything. The way I see it, I want to give everything I can to everybody. I'm not going to hide anything behind a paywall. And so because of that, if you want to be a patron, awesome. If you don't, no problem. I'm just going to continue making the content that I make. But that's really all I'm comfortable talking about when it comes to support. I just feel a little bit sheepish even asking you to check out those links. But you do you. Whatever you want to do, I'm fully here for you. The whole point of this channel is to help you enjoy retro games. And I think that's a good segue to do the giveaway portion. So I have a bunch of things I'm going to give away here. I have to be honest, not a lot of them are handhelds. I've kind of figured out that I've burnt myself previously by giving away handheld devices because I think at the time, I don't need this thing. It's going to be better with somebody else. But then I realize I do need it for like a size comparison or to show off the screen compared to another device. And so because of that, I'm kind of holding on to all of my handhelds for now because I can use them for content later on, which I think will be beneficial to everybody. So I'll just kind of go through the other things that I plan on giving away. These are things that I just think are going to be better suited in somebody else's home. And so because of that, not a lot of these are handhelds, but there are some pretty cool things here. We'll start here with, ironically, a handheld device. This is the Powkiddy V6. This thing is basically just a large battery pack that also plays a few hundred Nintendo games. Now the games on here are not great, but the battery pack works pretty well, and this thing only costs like 20 bucks. So if you want it, just go ahead and put that in the link that I'll have down below where you can choose which thing you want in the giveaway. Okay, next up I have the Rainbow controller here. This is from Big Big One. I just have a ton of controllers, and I love every controller I have, but this one in particular, it's a plug-in controller, and I just don't think I'm going to be using it that much very often in the future. And so if you want it, go for it. And these are in like no order at all. I'm just literally grabbing them off the floor. But the next one here is the Fire TV Stick 4K. Now I did a video on the 4K Max. I didn't realize that the Max was coming out and I ordered this one on accident. And rather than deal with the return and everything else like that, I just kept it and I thought, oh, I'll use it in a giveaway. So this one will work exactly like I did in my video previously. You can plug this into your TV, plug a USB drive into it, and you can play retro games on it. It's not going to play as well as the Max, so I would say this is going to cap out at probably Nintendo 64, so probably not a lot of good Dreamcast on this. But all the same, if you want it, go for it. Okay, this next one's kind of weird. So I did a couple videos about like the Super Console X Max as well as the HK1 box or the makeup box. Those all have an S905X3 chip on it. And that's not the only device I had bought with that chipset. I'd also bought this one here and it runs exactly the same as the ones that I show off in those videos. But I'm going to give this one away because I have those other ones still. And this one works just fine. I think it's worth about 40 bucks or so. And so speaking of the Super Console X Max, I'm going to give that one away as well. So if you want this one, same chipset as that other one, but this one comes with 2 controllers. They're not the greatest controllers, but they're in here. And I have videos on all of these, so if you want to check out the performance and stuff, just check out those videos. Okay, a similar device to the Super Console X ones is the Pocky box. This is basically the same as the Super Console X Pro. So this is a S905X chipset, not the X3, so not quite as powerful, but it's pretty cute, and I did a video on this one as well. So again, if you want it, go for it. Okay, next up I have the Powkiddy X17. Now this thing is massive. It has like a 7-inch screen, it's a touch screen, Android device, and the performance is okay on it, but honestly the buttons kind of bothered me, and if you want it, go for it. Okay, and the last one I have here is this mini PC here. This costs a couple $100 and it runs pretty well. It has Batocera already loaded on it, and you can play basically up to maybe half of the GameCube catalog. But all the other retro games are going to play just fine. You can check out my video on this one as well. It's like a Batocera install guide, but this one I'm going to give away as well. Okay everyone, that's really about it for this video. I really appreciate you participating in the giveaway. It helps me to kind of clear stuff out of this room. As you can see, I basically work out of this storage room here. It's basically like a closet, and I don't have a lot of space here. And so getting this stuff out of here allows me to bring in new things, start new projects, and make new videos for you. So super cool that you're able to participate in that, and thanks for that. And even more than that, just thank you for your viewership. I'm not going to try to get all sappy here, but it's just been amazing. 100,000 people have subscribed to this dumb little channel that I started because I was super bored about a year and a half ago. Now, 100,000 people is amazing. That's a ton of people. That's 10% of the state that I live in right now. Like, it's just crazy. So I really appreciate your viewership and just sticking around for all this. And I'm really excited to see where we go next. Oh, and I almost forgot, Chicken is super excited about 100,000 subscribers too. She's been telling me for months now that I was never going to reach it, and I did, so it's kind of like a rub in her face, but all the same, she's super excited about it too. So thanks for that. Now, let me know in the comments below what kind of content you'd like to see in the future. Would you like me to showcase my favorite games, things like that? Or would you rather me focus on hardware reviews? Or do you like me getting into a little bit of the PC space to kind of see where we can push the limits when it comes to emulation and things like that? Or should I just stick with handhelds? But let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm kind of excited to read all of those. So I'm going to just leave it here. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Happy gaming.